Okay, I'm going to talk to you. This is you know see me. Who don't you see? I don't see nothing right now because I'm in the dark. Who else is in the dark? Most of humanity. What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about Q. In other words, QAnon. Because yesterday something came up on my Facebook feed that said that um, the CEOs of a number of large corporations quit or were forced to resign or something. People like the head of Disney, the head of LinkedIn. There were some other ones. And this one, according to people who really follow the QAnon um, phenomenon, say it's something that Q said was going to happen. And these ones were given as examples of where Q was right. So, is there really a group of people who hired Donald Trump to become the president of the United States? In other words, they pulled all the strings and rigged it so that he could become the president, so that they could really clean out all of this swamp that they talked about, make America great again, and get rid of all of the Luciferians and the cabal and all this stuff. The answer is I don't know. Why am I talking about it? Because I could talk about something and it's popped up in my feed. So people want to talk about, like, do the Simpsons really predict the future? What is predictive programming? If they put something on the television and we all look at it, do we make it real in our reality? Because some people teach this kind of spiritual teaching that if you focus on one thing so much, you get so many people focused on one thing that's what tends to manifest in reality. In other words, are we creating our own reality? And do some people control what we all create because we're too stupid to realize that we are creator beings? I cannot say. Because from one reality box, somebody might say that's the way things run, but from another reality box, somebody might say it's ridiculous. Who's right? I don't know. Reality boxes are different maps of reality, and each reality box may have a technique for you to influence or change reality for you or for a group. I don't know how to tell you, but the spirits around me are asking, what does QAnon calibrate on the scale of human consciousness? I don't know if I'm going to be allowed, but I'm going to do a muscle test to see. I have permission. Yes, QAnon calibrates over 200, over 300, over 400, over 400. In the 400s, QAnon calibrates in the 400s, which is a really good number. It's certainly not an enlightened sage. It's not Jesus or Buddha, but it's not a negativity. So if they're in the 400s, then these QAnon people, are they good or bad? Oh, this is the problem. I don't know. Let's go with they're good. They're good. Okay, so what else do you want to ask? We're kind of out of questions. The muscle test, but why are they good? Well, because if you think of the people who are in the 400s over throughout history, these have been the great minds of humanity that have really done so much for humanity. So great scientists that help invent things like everything that we've got that's technological. And everyone, sometimes we have problems because we're told like climate change is caused by fossil fuel. But if you think about how much good has been done for humanity by having the automobile and trucks to move things around, trains to move things around, aircraft, our quality of life is way higher because we have these technologies than if we didn't. I mean, isn't it possible just to live like a Hutterite or a Mennonite and use horse and buggy? Yes, but the buggy itself is a technology. The answer is you have to understand we are in search of going back to living like a Mennonite with horse and buggy. The answer is no. Why? Well, because it's still a lot of labor. Why don't we want to do labor? Well, some people like to go to the gym to do labor because it makes their body build. But for most people, Well, we like to do sports. Most people like to do sports if we're healthy. Play soccer or go skiing or but the point of the matter is you don't have very much time for doing these activities if you're doing all the physical labor. If you're an old school kind of farmer, like a Mennonite or a Hutterite, well, you're getting up at 3 in the morning to go out to the barn to milk the cows by hand. Maybe you enjoy that. Well, it could be that they really have good quality of life. Maybe they really enjoy that. And, if they're a farmer and I don't know. I just keep going away from people wanting to go back to having that kind of a lifestyle. Why? Because I might enjoy it. Who? Me personally, I think I would enjoy the life of if I was healthy enough. I mean, you have to be healthy and strong, to get up at 3 in the morning to go milk the cows. But I like animals, and would you like to do the same thing every day? Well, you're going to see your old friend Bessie and milk Bessie the cow. We used to watch Little House on the Prairie on television. I don't know if it's available anywhere else now, but it was a famous TV show about families growing up in Minnesota back in the horse and buggies days. And I mean, there were some people that had horrible things that happened to them. And, the medicine wasn't so advanced that it can cure things like blindness. But today, can we cure blindness? Not really. So, are there technological solutions to curing blindness? Geordie LaForge on Star Trek The Next Generation had a visor thing that cured his, well, it didn't cure it, but it gave him an alternate version of sight. And then somewhere, and this is a spoiler, but those are very old TV shows and movies, somewhere along the line it was shown that somehow they regrew Geordie's eyes and they worked again. Can that be done? Theoretically, absolutely, they can be regrown. How come it doesn't happen on planet Earth? Mostly because we don't know how. But the information is available. Could you find it with muscle testing? Yes. But how many people are looking for cures for blindness using muscle testing? 0. Why is that? Mostly because even if you hear the video and you learn about muscle testing, you won't learn muscle testing. Very few people bother to do anything for themselves. Why? Because we're lazy. We're a very lazy species, and if somebody else can do it, or we can force someone else to do it, or there's only us to do it, generally speaking, we won't do it because we'd rather go get a case of beer and sit back and get drunk. Is it true? Yes, it's true. Humans are incredibly lazy species as a whole. What about certain individuals are anomalies that really pursue things. Why are there only 6 sages on the planet? Primarily because people are lazy and they don't want to learn. They don't want to apply themselves. And in the end, beer is cheap. So if I was going to tell you that a lot of problems could be found with muscle testing, would you believe me? No, you're going to say, well, you're a flake. That's why I market a comedy channel, because I accept the verdict of the masses that I am an idiot and I'm a comic. Not really, because a good comic like George Carlin can go around the country and pack auditoriums and make lots of money. And I don't. So I'm not really a comic. I'm a comic wannabe. I'm a wannabe. Not really. Why? Because, either you laugh or you don't. Is it the comic's job to make you laugh? The comic's job is simply to get you in the auditorium, get your money, and run away. Pay off all the people that need to be paid off, like, the owner of the auditorium and the bus driver who drives you around and the restaurant owner who supplies you with coffee and toast. And, your manager and your booking agent, they all take their cut. So in the end, what happens to the comic? Well, if you're George Carlin, you have to keep going on the road because there's not enough money in one road show in order to keep you in money for the rest of your life. See me no more. Thank you for watching. I don't have any more muscle tests to do. Maybe you would like to learn muscle testing to discover how to make people that are blind see.